Hi, my name is Tamer Abdu, and today I will talk about replication studies in software engineering research. I will briefly talk about some of the replication studies that I worked on with a collaboration of the data science lab team headed by Professor Ayse Bashar. There are many types of replication studies. One of them is to replicate a study using the same study design and same datasets. In this type of replication, our goal was to evaluate the certainty of the inferred knowledge of the original study. The original study proposed a deep learning and two-layer ensemble approaches to predict which changes might induce a defect in a software. We used the same open-source dataset that has been used by the original study. We also kept and investigated the same research questions and the same study design. Then, we compared our analyses to those of the original study. As you can see, approximate results have been achieved. Notably, this replication was performed externally without any involvement from the researchers who conducted the original analyses. That encouraged our team to move to the second type of replication studies, where we tried to change the original approach and introduce different parameters in an attempt to reduce the threats to validity and study the enhancement of the original approach. We proposed a new technique with strong generalization abilities that can be used in future research. This generalization ability enables superior performance on larger datasets where defects may have different characteristics that are better identified by different classifiers. Of course, the performance of the new approach has been compared against the original methodologies. The third type of replication studies is to replicate with different datasets and keep the study design unchanged with the aim of identifying the limitations of generality of conclusions in the original study. The original study investigated the reopening and fixing of bug reports in the context of two versions of Microsoft Windows operating system projects. The original study set to analyze multiple factors that have been seen to influence reopen defects in that type of proprietary operating system, and extend the results by analyzing the relationships between these factors and the impact on fixed defects. Here we wanted to replicate the original study to check whether the findings of the original study can be supported in the context of open source software projects. Similarities and differences have been highlighted. For example, in open source software, we noticed a consistent increase in bug reopening likelihood as the opener reputation increases, and then a consistent decrease till forming the bell-shaped curve. However, looking at the bug reports in Windows Vista, for example, from the original study, we can notice a consistent increase in bug reopening likelihood with the increase of the opener reputation. One of the possible reasons might be that in open source software project, most new users do not have enough information about the open source software project and the process of reporting a bug due to inadequate documentation in open source development process. In those two replication studies, we followed these guidelines. This is the end of my talk on replication studies in software engineering research. Thank you, and I hope you find it of interest.